I don't think I've ever really seen someone on the outside or in that life who totally loves themselves or is positive about themselves and want to do drugs just because. I feel that I've come across many people, including myself, who feel lost with themselves, who have no self-esteem and want to be accepted. My mom was a workaholic and she put her boyfriends first. So it was pretty much me and my brother in the house till I graduated and finally got out. First time I used drugs, I was with my younger daughter's dad. We were in a relationship and we were really, really, really close. And all of a sudden he would spend his nights away. That lasted a while and then I pushed and wondered why he was out. Eventually he told me he was doing drugs and he didn't want to bring it around me. But growing up, feeling alone, I felt like I needed him. So I asked to do it with him. I didn't realize the effects until later. So I didn't realize that I wasn't sleeping. I didn't realize that I wasn't eating. I didn't notice the weight loss. I didn't notice until about a year later when I went to my stepdad's Christmas party. We took Christmas photos and I had this bone-structured face with black under my eyes, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because nobody knew. I stayed away from family as much as possible. Everyone else really couldn't tell, but really, what does a drug user look like, right? Early off, I would only use it on weekends. Then eventually it got to me having to use it every morning to get up. Then it would be okay until I got home. Then it got to the point of me doing it in bathrooms or in my car at work. And then it consumed me totally all day. The more I wanted to use, the less I slept, the more irritable I became. And I lost so many jobs. I got evicted. I gave my kids up because I got evicted again. I lost good jobs again. And I was living in my storage. Not realizing how much my kids meant to me, I fell more deeper into my addiction because I didn't have them with me anymore. You don't think about that type of thing, but when you have your children and then they're finally gone because of something you did, I just slumped more in my addiction and I just fell and fell and fell. I was living on the streets in a tent, using and selling drugs. There was a sweep of the park and controlled buys, and I was one of the people that they were looking for. I went on the run for 2 weeks, finally was arrested and went to prison for 2 years. At that time, of course, you can't believe it. You want out, I can say this now, I was blessed not to be bailed out. Throughout the, 18 plus years of my addiction, I didn't know how to get out. I didn't know where I could go to get help. I was afraid to ask for help too, because I didn't want judgments. I didn't realize and accept that I was an addict until I learned that being an addict is using and it has consequences. So there are functional people who can use drugs and go to work and pay their bills, and that's fine, that's up to them. But for me using drugs led me to giving up my children, led me to being homeless, living on the streets for 10 years, going to prison, losing jobs, losing memories. My father passed away and I never got to see him. Life is just too precious. With the help of the resources in prison, I was able to transition into society and work my way up to where I am today, having a home of my own, being a legal driver, having my license. I have a connection with my kids. Straight out of jail, I started a job. I've been at that job ever since, so going on 8 years. I started at the bottom as a server. Almost 8 years later, I am a food service supervisor for about 15 of the supermarket food service departments on the island. And in January, it will be 19. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. When I think of my low points or think I can't do it, I always think of where that fear led me, and I ripple it out. Like if I were to just take one more hit, just because I could lose it all. I could lose my house, I could lose my job, my car. I would definitely lose the relationships that I've gained back with my family, my grandkids, myself actually. I would lose myself again. I still am a private person, but when it comes to my addiction, I'm not ashamed to talk to someone about it, because I feel everyone has a story, whether you think it's small or unimportant. Everyone out there has a story, and they may be feeling the exact same way. I do encourage people to talk, whether it be a professional, a friend, anyone, a sponsor. I wouldn't suggest holding it in. Holding your emotions, your feelings in has led me to self-destruct. All you really need to do is take that first step and ask for help. You know, it doesn't have to be as drastic as mine to finally get help. There are people, there are organizations out there that are willing to help you. You just have to want it. If you ever need anything and you ever see me around, I'm there to help you. And there are many, many, many people there to offer their hand as well.